Good evening, everybody. This is Rao Kalsu greeting you on this evening. Uh, I've been doing this series on spirituality, which is simple, positive, and calming. Right? I kind of opened on several platforms. So if I'm looking around, please excuse me, but I'm paying attention to four screens at the same time. I am on the Clubhouse, and I'm on the Wisdom, I'm on the Fa- Instagram, and Facebook Live, YouTube, uh, LinkedIn, uh, all the channels at the same time. I'm just trying to reach as many people as I can with uh, our presentation of what is simplicity and what is positive or what is calming about the spirituality. For me, the simplicity comes from not belonging to a particular religion or particular line of thought or particular authority. It's just being the simple soul, that human being, that being itself, that's enough, right? And we can relate to everybody like a human tribe, and that's where the simplicity comes from. you know and we want to be positive in our daily life, and also in whatever we do with our body, mind, and all that. So I was talking food on the first day, and then we also talked about activity this morning, and that's what we're going to continue today. And we can evaluate what is the right amount of exercise, right form of exercise, and how to incorporate that into our daily life, so that we don't have to make a big deal out of the exercise, and also understand if you are not exercising, if you are sedentary, what you have been doing all these years, and what has resulted in the body. Understand that, and eliminating that would be very easy for us to do the service to the body in terms of the movement and activity, exercise, right? So what it is we are always up and walking, and make sure our body moves and our mind is calm, right? That is what we want to do. So instead of having so many things, just try to walk, move in the house, in the garden, in the office, wherever you are working, right? You just move, and that itself is good enough. Okay? If we can be creative of how your body can have more exercise, like activity that is increased, that's better. Also, it depends upon your body type, and how much exercise you have missed, and what kind of um, any particular illness that you have. All those things count too. But if you are a regular person with a normal weight, and don't have any illnesses, then you can just move around, stand, and really walk as much as you can without sitting for prolonged periods. Those simple things are good enough. Otherwise, you just walk, and then don't sit down in the sofas, don't lie down right after you eating, thi- things like that. Basically, I am going against the creature comforts that we are all used to, right? I mean, it may be hard to begin with, but understanding their damage on our body, the furniture you have to look at, and you want to have something like an upright, like this chair, upright back that you can sit with your back up. And also, I'm sitting for this broadcast. Otherwise, I'm usually kind of moving around. I was moving around in the basement before I came here. I was participating in the wisdom with my friends, but I was walking around and talking to them, right? So that kind of opportunities you always want to take, just to move your body. So some ways are, don't take taxis or cabs or car if the distance is walkable. Okay, go to the market, just walkable, don't take any vehicle, or use a bicycle, something like that. Something that gives you in regular life body movement is very good. Suppose you are in the chair, you can move in the chair itself, that kind of thing. So I talked a lot about that in the morning, but here we're going to really explore when you really want to make sure that you need more exercise to get into shape, or to really control certain illness like diabetes, for example, or high blood pressure or heart problems and all that, right? We do cardiac rehab after the heart attacks and all that. Progressively under monitoring, we allow the patients to walk on the treadmill or other exercises. As they feel comfortable, we will increase them. And we will also know, according to the parameters that we measure while you are monitored, whether you need more work with your with all this you know heavy weights and all that. Okay, there are so many varieties, but simple principle is move the body and keep the mind calm. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so when you look at that way, then you will find opportunities. It's the intention that I want to not to take it easy, or I want to pamper the body, but I want to make it a little more active and as per the need of your body and need of your age and need of your another the best thing is engage in some sport, like a few days a week. That's a wonderful thing, table tennis also in the house, or you can go to other areas, and lots of ways you can invent your own thing. Okay, so say somebody wants to come up in Instagram, so let's see. Okay, I did accept, see who it is, and you can talk to her. uh, I did invited her, accepted her request to come up. That will be nice if she comes up, or if she or he, I don't know who it is on the Instagram. Anyway, what I am talking about is this exercise amount. Usually, as doctors, we prescribe people who are sedentary, who are not moving, tell them at least walk for 30 minutes a day for 5 days, and the way that we describe is first start with what is comfortable for you, and then increase the heart rate by increasing the speed, or taking long strides, or in a treadmill speed, increase that so the heart rate goes to the maximum that you could do, and then you run like that for another 10-20 minutes, and then last few minutes you cool down. That's the prescribed way to do it. At any time, if you have any physical symptoms, we usually tell them withdraw from that and come to the staff and all that. So okay, that's a monitored. But if somebody comes to me asking, I want to have a screening whether I can do exercise, this particular exercise, that particular exercise, then we will see the medical history, we see their chemistry, we see any illnesses are present, and appropriately they are prescribed. Here I am talking about normally healthy people. They just got used to sedentary somehow, and I'm just warning just to get out of it as soon as possible and make it so that you can have opportunities during the work or during the day that you can invent. You can go into the garden and do all the garden work. That's a very good one. Or you can be a handy helper around the house and do the stuff. That's a very good thing. So all this activity that's not stressful, but at the same time is really good for you, is what I'm focusing on. Usually kids come for the clearance for the sports physical, and I kind of try to see what kind of sport they want, and then prescribe exercises to improve those muscles that they need for that sport, and also if they need stamina, if they need real nutrition, all those issues are addressed for the kids. And I love those because I can really talk to the kid and see the love of sport for him and encourage that. And also if the sport is giving you problems, discouraging from the sport, like I took up several kids from the football because they were really seriously injured, they hated me for that at that time. But I was concerned about the future of the kid, and I have seen so many football injuries. I stopped watching football after that. So it's just a brutal sport, contact sport. It can have, but other people like a basketball, like a baseball, other things they come, or track, or running itself. Those kids, we really encourage them. One thing I added to them was, how can you use yoga to stretch before you start exercise and after exercise? That kind of prevented a lot of injuries for a lot of people. So it's a question of understanding the kid and giving the right encouragement and impetus. So the amount of exercise varies according to the age, according to the patient, according to activity they want to do, and all that, right? But generally, what I'm talking about is, don't be sedentary. Don't you get used to the creature comforts. Then you will feel really good in the long run too. Other thing is, if you are exercising in the beginning of life, you will do very well in your middle life and later on. But you don't want to be sedentary either. My kids went to taekwondo for several years and they got two black belts and all that. And they also do yoga and they are mobile and active and all that. So I encourage that. My wife and me, we do yoga together, and then we take walks, and then also in the hospital when I go there, I have long corridors. I can walk. After COVID, I kind of slowed down that activity, but even here, when I'm on the computer doing the telehealth and all that, lots of time I can stand and then talk to the patient. That is okay. So every opportunity I get up from the chair. I don't want to be prolonged sitting. Even my watch is there primed up to warn me every 1 hour so that I can get up and stretch. And then I definitely do breathing quite often, and that deep breathing also helps me a lot. You know, so amount of exercise, type of exercise, how often you want to do, all those are subjective, and according to the each person, they can have it determined either by the doctor or by their sports physical coach or somebody like that. And usually once they're cleared of serious illness, they can pursue some of these activities that are intense. They are okay, but also there are other things, heat around, and hydration level, all those things matter too. So that is how you want to keep it simple, because you basically have this attitude that I don't have the money, I don't have the time to go to the gym or the studio, and that's why I'm saying, just be your own. Simple, have the positive intention of, I'm going to be moving today, I'm going to get as much exercise as I possible, and then while exercising, another benefit is you can calm your mind. You see, focus on the exercise, be aware. In my yoga practice, this is what I like to tell people, is to be here and now, and also to have deep breathing with each stretch that you do. And also do both sides of the body. So we do the several asanas and stretches. I have routines to warm up, like hand rotations to all the three sides, and also head to toe exercise that we do sometimes, or yogic jogging is there that we do sometimes, and then 10 to 15 asanas, like a backward forward bends, side bends, and all that, and also balancing poses. We try to do that. I am kind of into 67 now, so my yoga prowess is not as much as it was when it's 40. That's okay. You don't have to do any asana to the perfection. You just attempt it, and then you get the benefit of it. And then slowly you allow the body to grow into the asanas. Don't force it. Just allow it to go. And then you listen to your body. Okay. So that kind of thing, the yoga is I'm partial because I know about it. I have been doing it, and I can. There's no religious thing or anything like that with me, but I understand the yoga physiology, yoga anatomy much deeper, and also my yoga is not really physical, even though we prepare the physical body as a temple to the God within, and my yoga is like a union of the individual Atma to the Paramatma, that is uh, the energy that is above us, which is really overseeing everybody, and it is within us. Get in touch with that energy is the yoga's purpose. Actually, the Bible of yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, was written by Patanjali, the author, for the mind. It's not for the body. But one of the things that you mentioned about the 8 steps he has is this asana. That also just to sit and be fit. If you are not able to sit and you have problems with your body, then doing the general yoga, which is called hatha yoga. If you do that, you will have the body really supple and cooperative with you for prolonged sitting and meditation, all that. Okay, we are only talking about activity today, and that activity should be uh, customized to the person. And also, there are so many other levels of appreciation on that too. I talked about the 5 layers of the body that is surrounding, that is your soul, or who you really are. In ancient wisdom, that's what they said. You got to turn inside and identify who you are with intuition, not with thought. And once you have identified that, you station in that, your mind will be calmer, and you don't have the stress hormones, and the body will be good too. The 5 layers, as we talked about, the first layer is the physical body, which is Annamaya Kosha, they call it. And then there is the energy layer with breathing and all the energy that goes around, that is Pranamaya Kosha. And then interior to that is our thoughts and our feelings and all that. That's called Manomaya Kosha. And then you have the driver, which is making all decisions because of the understanding and discovery capacity is there. That is the intellect. There's also the ego too. And then final layer is Anandamaya Kosha, which is blissful. When your mind is quiet and your body is quiet, your body is healthy, you are blissful inside too. Um, I cannot tell everybody when they ask me, how are you? I'm blissful. Actually, that's what I feel. I don't have any remnant of thinking and all that unless people provoke it. I get rid of that very quickly. Those pilots understanding, and then understanding the role of the breathing in our activity is very, very important. For me personally, I used to do hatha yoga for long years, but ever since I took up the real um, breathing practices, uh, the way I felt, the way I perceived energy, really fivefold. So I am very partial to the deep breathing. I encourage everybody to do the deep breathing. That's also part of the activity you can do. One of the things I do in the morning is I kind of allow the deep breathing through the hour, right? What it does is it relaxes your parasympathetic nervous system, basically vagus, right? So diaphragmatic breathing, where you sit straight and then you deep breathe through the nose so that abdominal wall comes out, and actually your diaphragm goes down. And then as you take the deep breath in, and then you're going to breathe out, the abdominal wall goes to the spine and the diaphragm goes up. That's what it is. That's the diaphragm breathing. When you do the one breathe, which includes certain seconds of, you can do 4 to 7, not in seconds, 4 to 7 count, of the inhalation, abdominal wall comes out, then you hold it for 4 count, and then you breathe out through the mouth, and then abdominal wall goes to the spine, towards the spine, and that's up to 8. Always longer exhalation than the inhalation. You do that, and that is one breath. That kind of breath you do 8. And you have to do it on a empty stomach, which is better. And you got to do it with focus on thinking that life force is coming to the prana. Okay, that is why the prana is called. Without that, we don't have the life. If you have that reverence to the significance of the life force, it's much more beneficial to you. That's what I tell my associates who have come to see me. And then once you do that in the morning, try to do it before lunch. Don't I assume you have not eaten anything from breakfast to lunch, too much of a big meal, then relatively abdomen is empty, then you can do that. And before dinner. So you can make it simple. Every time I have a big meal, before meal, I will have this 8 breaths down. Maybe take a few minutes, but that's simple. So I want to make it a very simple, positive, but calming the mind also. That is the title of this. I think. Okay. So this is what I was sharing with people, how to not to have to go to so much of spiritual thoughts and all of that. You don't have to do anything. Just be yourself and invent opportunities for a normal life that we normally do, which is just move and just breathe better and do the exercise as you require it. But this may not be for everybody is not ideal. So everybody has their own requirements and own abilities or inabilities, whatever, and the addiction to the creature comforts, that's also there. So we kind of work with people that come with that. And usually I ask them what are the things that you want. Somebody may say back pain, somebody may say head migraine or visual, whatever that is, right? We work those things too, those routines. And then they have to practice them on their own. Okay. One of the things I really take pride in, I design opportunity to exercise or active during the work time. As they are working, I try to do that. Suppose you are not able to do that and you notice there's tension in your neck or tension in your back. As you advance your age, like me, into the 60s and 70s, we may have some aches and pains, right? We can discover them and we can have simple stretches, and breathing into it can help you a lot. Otherwise, you leave it alone, and by the end of the day, it could be so much. And if you leave it for several weeks and months, it could be a problem. So it's the kind of prevention of some of the ailments that can happen. Okay, so your posture maintained well, and you kind of do some moderate lifting of boxes and all that. All those things will keep you healthy. But again, I say, according to your physical fitness level and according to your absence of illnesses. And also your inheritance, so many things go into that. So always consult your doctor before you encounter any exercise program. I do that with my family, my friends, my patients. But I encourage them all the time. Every time they see me, I always tell them, let's do some exercise, incorporate some exercise. And then when you don't make it a big deal of a membership of a gym and all that, a lot of my patients are older people, 60 and above, right? And they cannot go out and drive that easily. Sometimes it is the visit to my office is their only thing, in 3 months. So we have to observe the life conditions and their circumstances that they have, and accordingly we suggest ways for them to do. So this series I kind of opened up because I wanted people to perceive their own spirituality practices to be simple, to be positive, and calming them. A lot of exercise when you are doing, if you focus, for example, you're swimming, okay, you focus on the stroke, you focus on everything that you're doing, and you breathe in a rhythmic way. Obviously, you come out feeling relaxed. So that calming of mind automatically happens when you have a long stride during the walk, because long stride is known to stimulate somehow the brain relaxes and all. I used to walk quite a bit when I was growing up, and that helped me a lot with my studies also. Having a really quiet mind is important. And long walking without really indulging in some vagabonding in some thoughts, but really be with the nature or whatever is going on within you. If you are mindful of that, then You won't have this big thought jungle that you'll go and indulge yourself. That's what's happening with all the modern information overload, overwhelm. People think, and they think they are very smart because they are thinking a lot. No, they are really burning themselves out in that way. So I had to really talk to my friends over several years that they were getting into the burnout because they were facing too much of these devices all the time. Have a prescription. I will put the devices away 1 hour before I sleep. And then next morning, when you get up, don't open them. First 1 hour, give it to your nervous system to stabilize and come back. I recommend you don't think of anything but just be in your awareness. Or go out to the window or go out and walk in the garden or on the street if it is possible for you. Sometimes in Iowa, for us, it is not possible. It's all snowy or icy. So we have a treadmill down in the basement, but we do the yoga. But also, I walk on the treadmill because it's much easier, comfortable. For a long time, we had a membership in the YMCA, but we never had a chance to go there. Then I kind of canceled all of that and put some treadmills in the basement and bicycling, and also made a small yoga studio, and I do it, and I do it. I show it to the friends. So there is a wellness club for me, and I don't know why people are not taking advantage of it because you make enormous value for the little money that you pay. But that is up to you to recognize that. So I enjoy that doing it in the morning, and I am glad that some people are coming and we are doing it. It's not like about a gymnastics. Yoga is much deeper than that. Just because you learned a few asanas doesn't fulfill your real goal of the yoga. That's my viewpoint of. A lot of people are really wedded to the hatha yoga, the body yoga, and they think they are doing yoga. They are doing yoga postures, but not the real yoga. What is the meaning of it? Union of your individual self to the universal self, and then establishing yourself in the universal self, being one with it. That is real yoga. If you have your mind going all over, and then that takes wherever it wants to take, you have no idea of the yoga at all. So that is a modern problem. I deal with my friends of IT and also friends of medical field. They have to deal with a lot of information, and they let it run their mind all the time, which is not good. And then they don't have time for the exercise. They don't have time even for half an hour. But they have other things, also irregular routines, late nights, and then night shifts. So many things happen, right? Uh, what I did when I was on the night call was I kind of used the yoga nidra to deepen my sleep. That's one thing. And also, I kind of did a what's called review of reactions through the day. And then that made my mirror of mind. I call my mind my mirror because it takes all the impressions in there, right? Clean. So when I wake up in the morning, I wake up with a clean mirror. You know, that's a saying goes among the monks and the sages. They say in the morning when they greet, they don't say good morning. They say, "Sir, is your mirror clean?" That's what they say. I kind of adopted that, and I may not have anybody to say that. My wife, they will feel weird if I say that, but she knows what the meaning of it. She understands and all that. But I question myself: is my mirror clean or not? And then there may be some memories, maybe some imaginations coming up. Then I come back to the present by attending to my breath. It's as simple as that. So make these spiritual practices a habit and work with them. Make it simple, make it positive, and take these things as positive. Then you will say, okay, I'm really able to do these things without much effort, much time, and energy. And also, always try to see your mind is calm. One way to do that is I have a saying I always say is attention to every action during the day. So bring your attention, pay attention to whatever you are doing, and that itself really makes it. Don't have any unnecessary intrusive thoughts into the present activity. Be completely focused on the activity. That's what it is. And also, you have to train your senses, you have to train your body, you have to train your mind. Only then they will listen to you. Otherwise, just because your intellect, by studying some self-help book or some self-made guru telling you do this and all of that, your intellect may understand, observe, but if you don't train your senses, body, and mind, they don't listen to you. There's an analogy of an elephant and the trainer, right? That trainer is the tune is a small little guy. He cannot do anything with that big elephant. So what he can do is he can train the elephant so that it will do all the things just automatically. Okay, so you got to imagine like that. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to convey to you. Anybody wants to come and express your doubts or something, you can come up, and I will be happy to engage in a conversation with you. If you have any suggestions or recommendation, I'll be happy to listen to you. Or if you have a question that you want me to answer, I will try my best. So otherwise, this series is really fun because I cannot give you complicated prescriptions, but that may be suitable for some people. Though I'm talking about regular healthy people that are wayward with sedentary activities and also modern culture. They end up not having that much fitness in their bodies, and by the time they wake up, that may be too late. So that's why even if one person listens to me and then really goes into this exercise routine, I'll be very happy that I have made a difference. Uh, so anybody wants to come up, they can come up and ask me questions and all that. Otherwise, I will end in a few minutes. I planned like this, half an hour to 1 hour, according to people have any questions to ask me or not. So I plan to do this every day morning, 7 o'clock, and also in the um, evening, 8 p.m. Central Time, right? I will do it few more days, like a series. This is what I do. Every time I take a topic, I do it a series of rooms, and then later on, I may not have interest for a while unless somebody requests something. I have been doing some interviews and some podcast interviews and all of that. That is fun. I'm reaching several other countries. I was told that's better. Uh, Otherwise, I enjoy myself with my activities and my spiritual practices in the morning. That's the best time I have. Usually back 3:34 between that. Today I woke up at 3 o'clock. Then I use that time up until 6 o'clock when I have a class. This today, then I will be doing my spiritual stuff, which is kind of I'm the happiest at the time, and then I carry that through the day. So I'm quite contented with that. Tiffany is there on the clubhouse. Tiffany, you want to come up? I will be happy to talk to you. I haven't seen people in clubhouse for a while because I was so occupied with wisdom once in a while, and then let's see. Yeah, I can now ask Tiffany to come. Hi, Tiffany.
Yes, sir. Hello, Dr. Rao. How are you?
I am good, Tiffany. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm doing great.
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
you?
it's been a long time since I saw you on this
Yeah,
app.
yeah, yeah. I have been completely away from corporate, not by design, but in Wisdom app, I like that format because a lot of friends are there, a lot of discussions happen for a long length of time. That format I like.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but when I do room, I try to open the, clubhouse and also the Instagram too. And I have a wellness club. I want people to come and join and do the yoga with me on the Zoom. And also, I'm doing a retreat next Saturday from 8 a.m. in the morning to 3. I just announced it. So if you want to join there, DM me anywhere, and I can send you the Zoom link. This is going to be complimentary to my friends. Just to introduce them. What is the retreat really mean? How can we use it? But this is about the retreat from our habits. I just finished a retreat with my friends and family, and that went very well. But the one thing I did not tell him was don't bring the phones. So that was an annoyance. So I had to hold people, don't use your phone during this time. But they could not. They were off it for a day or two, and then they got into that, and they into the same old habits that they had with all the business going. So I was helping them some. They said they took some lessons, and then they were going to say it's kind of a review of what kind of habits you have in terms of your food, your digital life, your mental life, your psychological life, spiritual life, and all of that. And then, are you aware of those habits? And if you have those habits, did you want to change them, or have you ever wanted to change them, or do you understand the problems with it, that kind of thing. So this same thing I'm going to do on the next Saturday, where will be sessions on the food activity and sleep and meditation, but also this review of habits if they choose to do with me. Otherwise, I'm going to point out certain habits we develop and then we allow them to really go with us, and then by the time they become really solid, we cannot really change them. So that's going to be Saturday, Tiffany.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Dr. Rao. I will send you a DM.
Yeah,
And then did you say that
Zoom.
it's the wisdom app that you've been using?
Yeah. Wisdom app also is open now. Some of the friends joined there.
Okay.
But I go
Okay.
and contribute sometimes. So sometimes I have my own rooms too. But that time, in a clubhouse, they don't allow you to speak too long. But in wisdom format is that you can put 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or have 1 hour like that. So that's a you can have a deeper discussion. That's right.
Yes. Okay. I just sent you a link for the Zoom for
Yeah,
next Saturday, and then I'll check out this wisdom app. I haven't heard of this before, so
yeah. I
I'm
think you
gonna have
should.
to download that and check it out.
You will like it, Tiffany. It is a very good app. If you have any problems, there are friends to help. Also, I can also help you. And then once you are established, you will. I think you will love it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. You have any questions, Tiffany, or anything that we talked about? What is your exercise habit? Anything?
Yeah. Well, right now it's kind of limited, Dr. Rao, because
Mm.
I'm healing from mold toxicity and Lyme disease. So
Ah.
I'm just now getting to where I can walk normal,
Mm,
but
mm.
I'll make myself get outside and do a little walking,
Yeah.
you know.
No, remind
And
me on this.
yeah,
Remind me on this, Tiffany, on Saturday. And because of Zoom, you can see me, I can see you. I will show you how you can improve your normal walking even within the room and get benefit from that. Okay?
okay, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah. Just remind me, and that I will do that for you. Okay? All right. I think everybody is satisfied. Anybody else wants to come up and talk to me? I will be open for a few more minutes. Then otherwise, I'll close down today, and I'll again open tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central. Uh, 2, 3 more days I will do this series both in the morning and in the evening. And anybody wants their own particular questions, they can come up. So all right. So that is good enough for today, I believe. Is more than 36 minutes we are open. Okay, Tiffany, I'll see you on Saturday. Then I will send you that. Where do you want to send it? In the Clubhouse or Instagram? Where did you put the request? Tiffany?
Oh, I was trying to get back to this microphone. Yeah, just Instagram is fine,
Instagram.
Dr.
Okay,
Rao.
very good. That's where most
Okay,
of the people requested. I will send it there.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Thank
All right. Okay. Thank you, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Bye bye. Bye, everybody, on the Instagram. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, everybody, on the Wisdom app. I'll see you tomorrow morning.